This is the pivot where we tackle topics that are central to our game. Let's get straight to intros. She's played Division I basketball at Cleveland State University. She's one of my favorite assistant coaches at Ryerson, and now she's the head coach of the Waterloo Warriors, and we will not hold that against her. Coach Jessica Roque. Also joining us is Coach Ajay Sharma, who is a vet himself. He is a two-time national champion and two-time Coach of the Year with Humber College. Thanks to both of you guys for joining me, as I will need your expert opinions on this one because WNBA Commissioner Kathy Engelbert voiced her interest in expanding the league. She's identified Charlotte, Houston, Philadelphia, and Toronto as potential expansion cities. So Jess, going to you first, is Toronto ready to support a WNBA franchise?
Yeah, that's a great question, Sav. I think it's something I've fantasized about is having an expansion team in Toronto. I obviously cannot speak to the business side of things because I know there's multiple things that go into starting a franchise. But from a basketball fan perspective and the way basketball has grown in this country, I would say absolutely yes. We've historically put out Olympic teams, and I think just basketball's on the rise. Like the Raptors have won a championship now, and I think since that 2019 finals, a lot of people have been buzzing about, when's a WNBA team coming next, and so I think the city is ready to support it in terms of fans, and then just where the growth of basketball has come in the country thus far.
Absolutely, you made a good point with the national team having a number of WNBA players on the roster already. But AJ, what's your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I'm kind of on both sides. I think that we're certainly ready. I think from just a support aspect, a growth aspect, the girls' game has just grown tremendously. You see a lot more teams developing and playing the sport, and girls teams traveling. I think our fan base is ready for it. I think our community is ready for it. Of course, Jess mentioned the business side of it, and knowing that the WNBA is not a profit-making enterprise. But having said that, if the commissioner has decided that there's 4 cities that potentially will be expanded to, then they've decided that it's a good idea, and certainly Toronto is right up there with any of those cities.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of growth within the WNBA, like the viewership going up over 60% last season, and in this past All-Star game, the viewership also went up again. So we've seen tons of growth. I think the WNBA is ready, but let's pivot directions now. As coaches, you guys are often challenged to make some tough decisions. This is a bit of a fun one. We're going to play start, bench, and cut. I'm going to give you 3 players, and you're going to have to tell me who you're going to start, who you're going to bench, and who is not making the cut. So, Jess, I'm going back to you first. The names are Diana Taurasi, Sue Bird, and Candace Parker.
Ooh. Oh my God, this one's tough. I'm actually gonna start Candace Parker. I feel like she's been thrown a lot of shade her way the past couple years, but she's literally in her prime. I would bench. Ooh. Are we talking about a healthy Diana Taurasi?
Yes, they're all healthy.
I would bring DT off the bench and then probably cut Sue. Not just because I think Sue is a great scorer, but her true talent is in facilitating. And if we're talking about a game of ones, then I'm gonna go with the GOAT DT coming off the bench.
Okay, AJ.
So interesting, it's just because I've made so many wrong decisions in my coaching career. I think, I definitely think you need the score in the game. And I feel like Diana Taurasi gives you that best opportunity to score. It's hard to generate points, and certainly in tough games, it's even harder to generate points. So I would go Diana Taurasi start. And I'm a huge fan. I'm cutting Candace Parker, and I'm bringing Sue Bird off the bench.
Why are you cutting Candace Parker?
I don't know. I just think
both sides of the floor, AJ. Both sides of the floor.
Yeah, I just feel like you know, the UConn connection, the resume of those two players is, and not putting shade on Candace Parker's resume at all, but the resume of those two players is just too hard to pass up.
For sure.
Okay. Geez, AJ, you know, Candace Parker's coming off the bench for me. And you know, Diane Taurasi, the GOAT, is definitely starting. So that leaves me also cutting Sue Bird like Coach just did. But hey, I'm not a coach, so what do I know?
We don't know.
Always great. Always great to keep the conversation moving. I think the three of us would make a great 3-on-3 squad, by the way. Thanks for joining me here on The Pivot.